Good day to you. Welcome to Against All Odds. My name is Kishma Serie. And of course, our show highlights persons who have succeeded in their various areas, in their various fields, despite obstacles, despite the challenges, in fact, against all odds. Of course, we are the sum of our experiences. We are who we are because of what we have been through. Today, we're going to be having a beautiful discussion with a gentleman who has definitely dominated his particular area. He has set his name and placed his stamp on the area he has decided to master. So stay with us. We will be right back. And of course, this is Against All Odds.
PAX is the agent for Caribbean Line, which offers an effective alternative for global integrative of transport logistics from Sheerness, UK to Vieux-Fort St. Lucia in shipping, documentation, administrative procedure, loading and unloading operations. We also offer courier, small package service, customs brokerage, ship agency, freight forwarder, consolidator, and accounting services. Visit them today on New Dock Road, Vieux-Fort, or call 454-1200 or 719-8837. PAX is effective, efficient, and reliable.
Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling, or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, or touristic property, we offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support, including valuation, material sourcing, and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email carrotbiz@gmail.com.
Do you need to copy or print your document? Are you in need of insurance? Are you looking for office stationery? Stop. Yes, LMP Services on Clark Lane, Vieux-Fort has all the services you need. They open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or call 454-8757 or 721-8757 for affordable rates, reliable and effective customer service with a difference.
Ernesto's Auto Parts, located on the Labrie-Vieux-Fort Highway, is your place for auto parts. We have suspension parts, mounts, brakes, shocks, and so much more.
We specialize in accessories like mats, batteries, horns, lubricants, and much more.
We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 8 to 5 and Sundays and most holidays from 8 to 1.
L'opri, Ernesto vai depois.
What do you need to transport? Call the hauler. At M&E's Trucking, we offer a wide range of services island-wide, from containerized movement, flatbed service, and lowboy transfers. We're located at Beanfield, Vieux-Fort. Our skillful professional drivers are ready to serve you. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or email us at vibration711@gmail.com. Call us at 488-1000. We're ready to serve you. M&D's Trucking Service, a powerhouse ready to haul.
Welcome back to Against All Odds, and I am Kishma Serie. And today we are speaking with St. Lucia's first Olympian, Mr. Zephrinus Joseph. Well, not the first, but let's say the first athletic the first long distance runner, the first marathon runner. And welcome. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing, Kishma?
I am good. I'm good. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
Wonderful. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
Now, we're in Monrepo, and all of us from Monrepo know you as Noki.
Yeah, no.
We know you as Straws. We know you as Miss Ines' son.
Yes.
That's who we know you as. But the country knows you totally different. They know you as Zephyrus Joseph, the Olympian. They know you as a police officer. So tell us about, share with us the part of you that we know. Tell us about Noki. Tell us about Straws. Tell us about how did you get into running in the first place?
Well, how I got into running, basically, it's a crazy story because I always say that my very first race, when I was attending Mikutsek, was 400 meters, which I placed last in. Yeah, I came in dead last. But then I think the following year they brought in a PE teacher, Mr. Asan James.
That's the politician.
No, not the principal. It was the same. To me, it was the same James. Well, it's a James though.
Okay.
To me, it was asked. They brought him in, and he had us running from school to Latil, where he has waterfall and back. And the very first time we did that, I really didn't want to do it, but as it was customary of that time, corporal punishment was still legal. So if you got into principal office, it would be blows. So I took off. Came in second, wasn't a race, but after that I just fell in love with running. Fell in love with running after that.
So the driving force for you was that you would get flogged if you didn't run?
That was the whole thing behind it. But for me it was more the fact that I didn't want to dirty my uniform. I mean, I had no PE outfit, just my uniform. And in those days I had about 2 shirts and about a pair of pants. So sweating in them on that day and washing them the following day was a no-no for me. So getting involved in running was really something that it was pushed. But I wouldn't say pushed on me because the very first instance, yes, it was pushed. But after that, it was really because of my love for it. I just stayed in it,
Okay, that's awesome. So you then discovered the long distance aspect because clearly the 400 meters was not working for you.
The 400, sprinting was not working. And then that same year after that, I just registered for my house marathon, school marathon inter-house, representing King, the best house in Mikusek.
Okay.
Yellow, that's yellow though. And I came in third.
Oh,
no
how
training,
old were you
nothing.
Then?
I was in Form 3, so I was probably 15.
About 15.
Yes,
yeah,
I was in Form 3. And it just came in third. Following year, I registered, came in first, and that's all she wrote. That was all she wrote.
Wow. So at what point did it go from just a hobby to something you wanted to do professionally? At what point did you start engaging coaches, that kind of thing?
It was never something I thought of doing as a profession per se. I mean, my third year into this, I represented St. Lucia at the Carifta Games. And even after I placed second in Matnik in the 5,000 meters, there were people who came and talked to me and said that, which school are you going to? And I'm like, I'm not going to school. You're not on scholarship? I'm like, no, I'm not on scholarship. And I found it strange that the number of people I won in that race were people actually studying in the States. And I'm in St. Lucia, I know nothing about studying abroad, getting a scholarship, And then the following year we went to Barbados Carifta Games. I ended up coming third. I was the favorite to win, but I got the pressure and all kind of melt me down, so I ended up coming third. And the following week we went to Trinidad. And I ended up beating all the guys who beat me
at
in
Carifta Games.
So
you were best without the pressure.
Yeah, I came in fourth at Carifta because it was I came in fourth at CSC because then it was the Central American Caribbean Games. So it was the 2 Mexican and then Venezuelan. I was the first person from the English-speaking Caribbean who came in. I came in fourth. I think I actually set a national record as a junior at that time, national senior record. So it's something, like I said, from the very first time I did it, I just fell in love with it, and I've been a student of the sports from ever since.
How does one fall in love with running? Because for me, running would have to be something somebody's chasing me. How exactly does one fall in love? What is it when you run? What does it do for you? How do you feel when you run?
I guess for me, why I fell in love with running is that I never made it as a footballer. And I love cricket. I couldn't bowl, and I cannot bat. I cannot bat, I cannot bowl. So the running was just it for me, Even with the advent of the Monrepo Road Relay, When I just started running, I was one of the first time they brought it up. And when I put my name for the relay for PYU at that time, they didn't even allow me to run the very first time. But running kinds of, if you have a problem when you go out and run, if you cannot solve the problem when you're out running, and then the adrenaline you get when you, say, most of what I call when you burn and you rebuild, just the way you feel after a run, it is always difficult for you to start. But the moment you start it, you go running, everything just changes.
So it's therapeutic for you?
It is very therapeutic. It is for me.
Nice.
It is for me, honestly.
So how did your mom, or your family, when it started, you were not, because your family didn't have, okay, you've been running from kindergarten, they know you to be a runner. But then you pop up at 15 years old and you're just running. How was the response from the family and the community then, and as it expanded?
Well, my family has always been supportive. My mom has never been someone who's really into sports, because she's not one who's going to come out and watch me run, because as she says, she cannot watch me compete. Even if she's at the event, she'll just bow her head and close her eyes, But my mom has always been supportive. I remember when I left Mikusek in 92. Yes, I'm that old.
It looks good for 45.
Yeah, when I left Mikusek in 92, my mom never pushed me to go and look for a job. I mean, we were farmers then. I worked with General Business and Technical Services for about 3 or 4 months. Yes,
I did a course there.
He gave me a job. He gave me a job, but then I left it after a couple of months because I just decided I'm just going to go home and work on my family farm, take care of my mother's plantation. We had a little plot, not a plantation, a little plot. Took care of that. And my mother never pushed me to, you desire to have. She never, ever. She was very supportive. My family has been supportive. My community of Monipo has been behind me from the onset,
That I can attest to.
Yes. They've been behind me from the onset. And it's not something that has changed me. I would consider myself to be a very humble individual, although some people may say I have style. I don't know where it's coming from, though. But
there's nothing wrong. You can have style and still be humble. So.
No, well, I feel I'm pretty humble. I don't want to blow my own horn, but I feel I'm pretty humble.
No, you are. I mean, you're always casual, always easy to talk to.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Generally, I find it's persons who may not have a good idea of who you are who make those statements. Yeah. So now we're back at school, and you learned about scholarships. From Carifta and the other persons who you whooped. Nice. So what was the next step there?
Actually, the next step, I came back to St. Lucia, and during that time we would get this, there was this book, Colleges and Universities of the States.
Oh, yes. Around Form 5 they would,
Right. Well, a friend of mine, Ronald Promise, who is in the States now, we would actually go through this, looking at Division 1, Division 2 schools that offer scholarship, track and field scholarship, and we would write. Internet was not around at that time. So we couldn't email and get a response in like 2 minutes. So we would write a letter, it would be 7 days to the States and 7 days for a response. And then, but how I got a scholarship was actually in 1998. I was at Maracaibo in Colombia, in Venezuela, at the CAC Senior Games. And that's where I met Dominic Johnson, who was a pole vaulter for St. Lucia.
I remember.
And I told him how I was interested in studying. So that was I think it was Dominic Johnson, Ronald Promise, Dean McGraw, and myself. So we spoke. And then when he went back to the States, he spoke to the coach of Central Arizona College. And that's how I got my scholarship. But nice. It's pretty funny that the scholarship I got, there was actually a Kenyan going to Nairobi to get his visa on the same day they bombed the Nairobi American embassy.
In Nairobi?
Yeah. So he was on his way to get his visa, but then that same day they bombed the embassy. So they just switched everything to me.
Okay.
So within 3 days I had to get a visa. They sent me my letter. And that same weekend I left for the States, I actually had to go to Commonwealth Games in Malaysia. So I called the association, let them know, well,
can't make it.
I'm going to the States. So I went to the States, Central Arizona College.
Wow, how long did you spend there?
It's a junior college, so I spent 2 years there. Then I transferred to University of North Florida in Jacksonville, Florida.
Tell me about the experience of running Arizona. Is cold, right?
Not really. It's well, it is cold at night, but very hot during it because it's in the middle of the desert. It's Casa Grande in the middle of nowhere.
Just so a little extreme hot and extreme cold.
So during the day, it's really hot. In the night, pretty cold. So I first got to Arizona, went London, Tucson, met with the coach with my little I had a little bag, and he was like, the man just laughing, and he was like, why is he laughing? He said, well, normally that's how you all come. You all come with a small bag, and then when you all are leaving, you all
Go.
have no space. You know. So when we went up back to this, slept at his home for the day, and the following morning we drove to the school, met the athletes, and I went running. And then while stop, I wanted to urinate. When I looked there, and I was like, so cold, there was nothing. I was like, wow. So I went back to the school. I went back and I called my mom and I told Mom, you know what? I've eaten, I listen. He said, wow, you know. So I stayed, I stayed. And it was a good decision. It was a good decision to stay. Honestly.
Now, I read in 2002 you got into an accident.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me
It
about
was
that.
2001.
2001?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was in Jacksonville, Florida. Actually on Beach Boulevard. I cannot forget that. Beach Boulevard. Yeah, bringing back memories of Jacksonville now. Yeah, it was actually, we went to a cross-country meet in Tallahassee at University of, I don't want to get the schools wrong because those guys will get crazy, but it's Tallahassee. Yeah. So we went there for cross-country meet, which I won on a Saturday. Nice. And then we drove back. And on the Monday morning, I went to run in with my teammate. And then I could clearly remember watching, you can look at my watch, clearly remember it was 14 minutes. And normally around that time, I would be out of where I was. I would be in some little community running. And then the next thing I remember is that I couldn't move. I just remember watching my watch, and I couldn't move. And then I could hear people talking. And I feel like, I think they had a C collar around my neck. So I'm trying to take it off, and the person's like, no. And then they asked me, who's the person running with you? I'm like, So then I asked him what day it was, and he said Monday. Then I remember it was Russ Stewart, my teammate. So the guy actually ended up hitting Russ, and then hitting me. And Russ ended up dying a year after, a year to the date. Because the following year, he came back to school and requested that I be his roommate. So I can remember clearly that he came into the room one day. He had an English paper, which I proofread for him. Then he went to the library to print it. And when he came back, he went for a shower. So I'm on my bed sleeping, and I got up, the phone rang, picked it up, and I realized that the person is still showering. It's been over an hour. So I called his name. I went to the door, heard the person moaning, and I'm thinking, well, and I went to the door, heard the person moaning, and I'm thinking, like, man, don't tell me Russ is out there
having
playing
fun.
himself. Yeah. That honestly was that's the first thought I had. But I went back to the bed, and to me, the moans was overpowering the water. Mm-hmm. So I went and I knocked on the door, and it didn't stop. And I'm saying to myself, if that's what he was doing, the knock would have stopped him for at least 1 second. So when I opened the door, I found him in a fetal position in the tub. I called the police, they came, and then they used the ADE machine on him, and that was it.
Wow.
So I found him dead in the tub.
That must have been hard.
It was, because at the very same time, I heard the officer was talking to my coach, and he said murder. I didn't hear the full conversation, but I heard murder. So I was the only black guy on the team. And,
so
it was a white guy too.
Yeah.
So I pulled the coach aside and asked him, why are you saying murder? And he said, no. He said it does not look like murder.
But you heard murder.
But I heard murder.
As a black guy, I understand.
And a black guy in the States at that time. I mean, I've never really come across racism per se when I was in the States. I think I dealt with it once. It wasn't even me. The coach was the one who told me about it.
Okay.
That we were in South Carolina, walked into a gas station, and the lady at the cashier just stopped doing what she was doing. Just as soon as I walked in, she just started not following, but was watching everything I was doing. And the coach actually told her that, oh, don't worry for him, he's there with us. And he told me that after we left, not before, because he said, oh, you know the kind of person I was. I was like, nah, man. So I never really got the racism. I don't know if because I was the top athlete at the school, but I never got the racism problems in the States.
That's good.
Yeah.
But in the case, what was the cause of Russ's death?
He had some, I think because of the accident, because after the accident he was in a coma for at least a week or so. But I think his heart got enlarged, and he died, like I said, the year to the date. Because the same Saturday, the following year, Tallahassee hosted the same cross-country meet. I went there, and I actually won the meet. And we came back, and he died on the Monday, which was a year to the date of the race. So,
yeah. Okay. This has been Really, really beautiful conversation. And stay with us. Of course, this is Against All Odds, and we are here with Zephyrnus Joseph Oli. We are definitely going to say it. OLY. So I don't say the name, I just call out the letters.
Yeah, just OLY.
OLY, okay. Yeah, I kind of like Oli, but okay. OLY as our Olympian. Stay with us.
PAX is the agent for Caribbean Line, which offers an effective alternative for global integrative of transport logistics from Sheerness, UK to Vieux-Fort St. Lucia in shipping, documentation, administrative procedure, loading and unloading operations. We also offer courier, small package service, customs brokerage, ship agency, freight forwarder, consolidator, and accounting services. Visit them today on New Dock Road, Vieux-Fort, or call 454-1200 or 7198837. PAX is effective, efficient, and reliable.
Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling, or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, or touristic property, we offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support, including valuation, material sourcing, and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email caribbiz@gmail.com.
Do you need to copy or print your document? Are you in need of insurance? Are you looking for office stationery? Stop. Yes, LMP Services on Clark Lane, Vieux-Fort has all the services you need. They open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or call 454-8757 or 721-8757 for affordable rates, reliable and effective customer service with a difference.
Ernesto's Auto Parts, located on the Labrie-Vieux-Fort Highway, is your place for auto parts. We have suspension parts, mounts, brakes, shocks, and so much more.
We specialize in accessories like mats, batteries, horns, lubricants, and much more.
We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 8 to 5 and Sundays and most holidays from 8 to 1.
L'opui, Ernesto vai depois.
What do you need to transport? Call the hauler. At M&E's Trucking, we offer a wide range of services island-wide. From containerized movement, flatbed service, and lowboy transfers. We're located at Beanfield, Vieux-Fort. Our skillful professional drivers are ready to serve you. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or email us at vibration711@gmail.com. Call us at 488-1000. We're ready to serve you. M&D's Trucking Service, a powerhouse ready to haul.
Thank you so much for staying with us. I am Kishma Seria. This is Against All Odds, and we are having an epic conversation with Zephyrnus Joseph, OLY, our Olympian. And we were discussing school, because you mentioned the 2 years at Arizona, and then you went
and then transferred to University of North Florida.
North Florida,
in Jacksonville.
All right, so what happened thereafter? At what point did you move on to Olympics? At what point did you?
Well, I was at UNF from 2000 to when I got involved in the accident, I had to redshirt basically. So I had to come back in 2002 to finish out my eligibility for running.
What's redshirt?
Yeah. So in 2003.
No question. What's redshirt?
Redshirt is basically if you're an athlete at a school, and suddenly, not because of injury, if you're injured or you just decide, okay, you're not fit enough, or you have an issue, you could sit out a year, but you're not representing the school, so it does not count as a year. Because basically at college you only have 4 years to compete.
Okay.
So if you redshirt 1 year, you're not competing for the school. You're actually not even supposed to be training with them or anything because you're not part of the team. America has a lot of laws when it comes to school athletics from high school up, and it's if you break
so it's basically like taking a step back.
Yeah, so so if you're injured, they will give you a year. So you're redshirt, you're not competing for the school, so you could get that year. So if you're supposed to say you would be graduating in 2004 because you're redshirt, you could still compete in 2005 because you didn't compete in 2003.
Okay.
So you get that year back.
Okay.
So even if you're a graduate student,
you still have
that
a year.
So you could, as a graduate student, you're already done with your thing.
Studies.
But you're a graduate student now going for your master's, but you could still compete because you have 1 year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the year is not dependent on what you're doing, just the time frame, as long as it's 4 years.
It is 4 years, but then you will actually spend 5 years at the school because you still come in and compete for that redshirt year.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay. So you still be going to school, just not.
Yeah, you still going to school. You're redshirting because you're still supposed to maintain your GPA even if you. Even if you're redshirt, no. The other thing about the state, as an athlete, you must maintain a 2.0, which is basically just C's. And as I say, C's bring degrees. Even if you have 4.0, as long as you get a degree, that's it.
Yeah, it's the same degree.
Yeah, you must maintain a grade point average of, I think it's 2.0. I don't know how high it is now. It's 2.0, which is, because it's on a 4.0 scale.
Yeah, it's 4.0.
So it's 2.0, so it's halfway, which is just C's.
Okay. It's kind of like a balance.
Yeah, it's a
You gotta
balance.
be
You must.
competing.
Yeah, because when you're competing, what they realize, as an athlete, they would also give you the first opportunity to select your classes. So you could take an early class, so you'd have time to practice because they know
the demands.
Yeah, and plus the school is the one most of the times you want a scholarship, the school is the one paying for you. So then they will give you that opportunity to make sure you get the first class and do what you're supposed
we take
to do.
care of you, you
They
take
have
care of
to.
us.
They have to, because you give them, you go out there, represent them, you raise the school, the value or not.
Okay, awesome. All right, so how did the Olympics pan out? Did you get a call? How exactly did it turn out that, hey, I am going to Olympics?
Well, actually, when I was done running in 2003, when I was done running in 2002 for the school, I was still at UNF, but then I took part in my first marathon. It was the Twin Cities Marathon in Minnesota, where I came in 6th overall, running 2 hours 16. And the Olympic standard at that time was 2 hours 18. So then, I didn't go there with Olympics in my mind. I just went there as my first marathon. And then I ended up running 2:16, qualifying for Olympics. And then my association informed me that I had qualified for the Olympics. But it's only when I came to St. Lucia, because I did a marathon in some October. So I came home for the Christmas. I'm normally home for Christmas anyways. I don't spend, And
nothing like a Lucian
Christmas. Made the association and let me, okay, now that you've qualified for the Olympics, you're basically the property of NOC. So that since you've qualified, they're basically supposed to take care of you. I wouldn't say I got a whole year of that kind of treatment, because it was around that time when I came home, there was Mr. Andrew Magua was the one who really pushed for the association to actually support me. He got me he made him give me a rental, which I would use when I was going to train. So basically the guys would drive the car and which would be pacing me. And then I got some money from them to train when I got to the States. So I was able to go to North Carolina at the training camp for about a month, train, and then I went to the games.
But then why do you think because if I'm assuming, if you're going to be representing the country, then it just makes sense that the country is supposed to be taking care of you.
It does make sense, but as soon as you have to be in it to know it.
Fair enough.
I've had issues with my association. I don't want to digress too much, but I've had issues with my association, and it's something that still exists in St. Lucia. There are people right now probably trying to change the whole thing, but I've had issues with my association, because I remember clearly when I came back from the game in 2004, I was informed by Dominic Johnson to apply for an Olympic Solidarity. Now, we must remember that Olympic Solidarity, it states that the person has to show the potential to qualify for Olympics, for it to be granted an Olympic Solidarity. And I just came from the Olympics in 2004 as a qualified athlete, not someone that was given a buy.
Yeah, so what do you mean about potential? You
No,
already...
so that is why the association could send in an application, because you had the potential. But they never did.
Oh,
I sent in an application when Dominic told me that, so I sent in an application to the NOC.
What's NOC?
NOC is the National Olympic Committee.
Okay.
But I didn't know that the application had to go through my association. Now the problem also is that the General Secretary of the NOC is also the president of my association. So in effect, I'm sending the application to him, NOC, and I'm bypassing him through the association. So he has my application, but it didn't come from him
as
to
the president.
him. You understand?
Because he has two cups.
Exactly. So I got a message from some prominent member of our community, telling me that someone from the association, the Olympic Association, told me I need to apply through my association. And I reapplied. I was informed that they did send the application to the technical committee, who is the one who goes through it and decides if I qualified. I told them to apply, but they never did.
So was there a feeling of being bypassed on the part of the...
I feel that's what it was at the time, but I've always said that even if you don't like somebody, but you should be man or woman enough to say, okay, this man is deserving of this, or this man is the best in this, or this man is that, but I don't like you.
Yeah, give Jerry's jerry can.
Yeah, and I needed my jerry. At that time, I needed my jerry can to carry some water.
Man.
And I always felt, it was the amount, because normally Olympic Solidarity gives you $102 US. Not 100, 1,002. So basically $1,200 US.
Okay, 1,2.
So I always felt that at that time they didn't want to see me with $1,200 every month till the games.
Yeah, but you run your everything out for the 12.
This is something that people cannot. I always felt that people cannot. The dislike for certain people, they cannot separate it from.
Move past it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is how I always felt about that Olympics solidarity situation, and it's not something I have. A lot of my friends, even I have a friend, Dane Magua, is always telling me, "Oh, you need to forget about this." I cannot forget those things, man. You know, I honestly can't.
Yeah, I understand. So tell me about Olympics.
Oh.
Getting there. I remember sitting home, as I'm sure every St. Lucian was.
Yes, sorry,
was
St.
late in the night. And I remember watching the flag and the Madouas, the opening ceremony of Olympics.
For us, that was not Madouas.
No, the ladies were dressing.
No, well, for me, we just had the suit. I think during Laverne, that would probably be London. But during mine, we didn't wear.
You didn't have Madouas? Okay.
We had
my apologies. But you all had a
blazer. And everybody had the blue blazer. But I think Laverne, there were a couple of Olympics we wore, they wore, not we, I was not part of it.
And they wore the Madouas?
They wore the national dress.
Oh, okay.
They wore the Madouas. But Olympics has always and will always be one of the biggest events I've ever been to. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I didn't perform like I felt I was supposed to, but it's still an experience I hold dear to my heart because it was history in the making. It is the first time that St. Lucia has ever walked into the Olympic Stadium as the first country. And that will never happen again unless it goes back to Athens, and Athens used their Greek alphabet to determine who matches first. Because Olympic history is that Greece matches in first because that's where the games started.
Yes.
So Greece always matches in first, no matter what games they are. But
because they're the originator.
Yeah, but host country also matches in last.
So that's the catch.
Yeah. So here's Greece hosting the games, and they're supposed to match first, but the host country always come in last.
So any other place, Greece is first, except in Greece.
In Greece. No, not except in Greece, is that they're supposed to, but now they're the host country come in last. So what they did is that they allow their famous weightlifter to walk in with the flag, with Greece flag. They walk in, And then St. Lucia walked in. Now, St. Lucia got that lie because of our name in Greece. St. Lucia is actually Agia Luca. I can never forget. For some reason, I can't forget that. It's been over 20. Mom, it's been that long? Wow. Not 20 years, but yeah, I can't forget it. And it's because, and also because Lucia is in the Greek mythology. I think Lucia is some spirit or whatever. So they decided, you know what, St. Lucia, you're going in first.
Wow. So alphabetically and spiritually.
Yeah, so
nice.
That is something I said. Normally, when you watch the Olympic Games, you don't normally see St. Lucia for as long as you did because they always switch. But I think now, because of the station covering it, you can. But before, normally we watch it through the US channels.
Yeah, a little
and
flash.
You just cut the small countries into the big countries. But this time they couldn't because this is the first country coming in, you know. So it was actually one of the best, and it was actually I think it was my 29th birthday.
Oh, wow.
It was actually my birthday, August 14th, that we had the ceremony, and I was the one walking in the flag. So,
oh, wow.
But I've always said that I would actually trade this for the last day of the games, because on the last day of the games, I end up being the one before the last person to walk into the stadium. And I mean, I could laugh about it right now, but it was an experience because I went to the games, and I'm there at the games, and we have this cafeteria where you could go in at any time you want, and people don't ask you questions. Yeah, you have your badge, you eat what you want, you do what you want. And I spent I think we spent about a month in Athens, and I really didn't train when I was in Athens. I went out to run about twice, but I really didn't know what I was supposed to do. And then going out on this race, it just totally killed me, honestly. I'm not going to lie about it. And I finished this race because I remember telling my mother, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to finish the race, you know. And this was one of my worst race ever. But I finished it because, I mean, Olympics.
And I think that's one of the, I think you got a lot of, you got a lot of backlash here from Olympics in terms of the amount. But for me, the biggest thing was that, because it's my view that you ought to complain or criticize something that you can positively contribute to. And the fact that you finished the race, whereas so many people choose not to.
Exactly. There were so many bodies on the side of the road. But it's like I tell people, I've always said to people that I'm happy that I spent a few years in the States. I'm being honest. I'm happy that I spent a few years in the States, and I'm happy that I went through the college system and stuff like that, because it has opened my eyes in a lot of things. Stuff I would when people talk about St. Lucia, I basically can't even compare St. Lucia to my university, because our budget was much bigger than St. Lucia's budget. You understand? So I got to the point where when people say certain things about St. Lucia, I just bypass because I know of certain things. I'm like, nah, man. You know, so people bad talking me about my performance. I mean, I honestly don't blame them, because I mean, people are expecting better from me. But at the same time, I don't know, because even on that day, when I go to the States, and then people find out I'm an Olympian, it's like all of a sudden I am up there. And I'm telling you, know what, I came in one before last year. Like, it does not matter.
Yeah, you're an Olympian.
Yeah, that doesn't matter. Even on the plane back to the States, people ask me, where you come from? I say, I just came from the games. Oh, what did you do? I did the marathon. Oh, what did you place? I was one before last. Oh my God, that's nothing. You're an Olympian.
Huh?
Yeah, and it's totally different. It's totally different down here. Because even before I went to the games, I remember I was in St. Lucia, and I only got one interview. And I was I think HTS called me the day before I left. And I tell them, they said, you need to come to town for an interview. I'm like, nah. I've been there for over a month or so training. And when I got to the States, the school had about 15 interviews lined up. And the school decided, what, Joseph? The media part of the school is going to handle this. All you have to do is just show up. So now I'm going to the Olympic Games, but I have to show up with University of North Florida gear. Because they saw the opportunity.
Because they're the ones who supported.
So now they would just call me, Joseph, you have an interview? Be at the field at so-and-so. And I'll go there. Interview, I'm going to the Olympics. The day before I left to the Olympics, I had a 5K race I won in Jacksonville. And everybody just lined up, and I just sat there signing numbers. And everybody just cheering, everybody just walking, signing numbers. I'm like, but then down here it's totally different. And I understand we don't have that culture. We don't have the culture. We do for cricket. People understand cricket.
And even that.
Yeah, even that. But so I find myself, I don't really blame the people because they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
I find that there's a lot of emphasis on the end result, and very little on the process it takes to get there.
Yeah, case in point, I have been injured from 2013, calf injury, and I'm a member of this club in Matnik, Golden Star. And this club, if it was not for this club, I probably would have been done with running by now. I'm being honest. I've never the support I have received from a club in Matnik. I cannot say I've received it from my association or my country. I mean, I love St. Lucia. That is, I always St. Lucia dear to my heart, honestly.
But reality is reality.
You know, so Golden Star for me, right now, if I'm supposed to go represent St. Lucia today and Golden Star, I have to do something on Golden Star, I'm going to choose Golden Star. And it's a club. And that's because of what they've done for me from 2013 till now. You know? So that's just, but St. Lucia still hold dear to my heart.
No place like home.
Yes.
All right, beautiful. So we're going to take a short break. And of course, this is against all odds. We are speaking with Zephrinus Joseph Oly. Olympian. And we will be back.
PAX is the agent for Caribbean Line, which offers an effective alternative for global integrative of transport logistics from Sheerness, UK to View Fort St. Lucia in shipping, documentation, administrative procedure, loading and unloading operations. We also offer courier, small package service, customs brokerage, ship agency, freight forwarder, consolidator, and accounting services. Visit them today on New Dock Road, Beaufort, or call 454-1200 or 7198837. PAX is effective, efficient, and reliable.
Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling, or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, or touristic property, we offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support, including valuation, material sourcing, and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email carrotbiz@gmail.com.
Do you need to copy or print your document? Are you in need of insurance? Are you looking for office stationery? Stop. Yes, LMP Services on Clark Lane, Beaufort has all the services you need. They open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or call 454-8757 or 721-8757 for affordable rates, reliable and effective customer service with a difference.
And Nestor's Auto Parts, located on the Labrie-Viford Highway, is your place for auto parts. We have suspension parts, mounts, brakes, shocks, and so much more.
We specialize in accessories like mats, batteries, horns, lubricants, and much more.
We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 8 to 5 and Sundays and most holidays from 8 to 1.
L'opui, anesto kay depu.
What do you need to transport? Call the hauler. At M&E's Trucking, we offer a wide range of services island-wide. From containerized movement, flatbed service, and lowboy transfers. We're located at Beanfield View Fort. Our skillful professional drivers are ready to serve you. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or email us at vibration711@gmail.com. Call us at 488-1000. We're ready to serve you. M&D's Trucking Service, a powerhouse ready to haul.
Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Kishma Serie, and this is Against All Odds. We have been having a truly phenomenal conversation with Zephyrus Joseph, OLY. Thank you so much for staying with us. Okay. Now, we were discussing Olympics, of course, and the cultural differences. How did you come out from Olympics to the police force? How did that happen?
Oh, actually, people, a lot of people say like, oh, you went to the States and why a policeman? But they're very surprising that in 1998, when I left St. Lucia, I actually wrote the police exam.
Ah, okay.
I actually wrote the police exam. So up to this day, I don't know if I passed or if I failed.
But you were there.
Yeah, but then policing has always been something I wanted to do. It is not something I got in because that's the only option. Nah.
Okay.
I love farming. Right now, I'm thinking about, but policing has always been something I love. And I think right now, my policing is probably different from the policing people I used to. And because of my travelings and stuff like that, I deal with people totally different and whatnot. So I respect people and I expect them to respect me. So
that is fair.
Yeah, but I love policing. I love policing, honestly.
Nice.
I do enjoy it very much.
Nice. A pet peeve for you, I know, is littering.
Oh.
That shows up on your Facebook page all the time.
It pains my heart. We have this lovely cool-out spot we call Jack River.
Mm-hmm. By Lakeside, yes.
Yes, and people would go to this place with loads of stuff. I mean, if you go there for bags, it's loaded. Why is it so difficult that when it becomes so light, you cannot carry it back? And we litter the same area we enjoy, and we come back the following day and when we blame other people when we're the one who left it in that condition. Littering, it hurts. I honestly, I don't have the words to describe how I feel about that.
Yeah, I understand. Vehicle is always a mess because you always have trash.
Yeah.
And
there was once we had a race, we had this run around St. Lucia with this gentleman who used to come down to St. Lucia and have this reading camp.
Ah, the rainforest reading, right. Yes, I remember that.
Just running around St. Lucia showed me, I realized how dirty we are. Places I've never been before. Mm-hmm. Any place St. Lucian find there is a precipice or a cliff, and there might be a road under, they still dump stuff there. And from there it gets to the river, then it gets to the beach, and while you enjoying your beach, you're blaming people for being nasty, whereas you're the one who dumped it.
Yeah, way above.
And it comes back to you. Yeah. And it is something that I feel the government needs to step in. I don't feel we're doing enough when it comes to charging people who litter. A lot of the construction people just throw garbage anywhere. Le Paradis, which is a few minutes from us now, they have a serious problem with dumping of garbage. When you pass the Lucilec exchange on your right, they dump garbage all there. Lexington, which is another river where we enjoy very much, people dump garbage there. Trumasi River, the same thing. So St. Lucians, I'm begging you all guys, we need to do better, because even if I don't litter, but I'm a St. Lucian, so.
Yeah, and I think that's a problem too. We had a problem, and the problem is us.
It is us.
Because for me, it kind of steeps in a lack of patriotism. Because this is where you live, this is where your children live.
And even case in point, where we both live on the same road, Lapwing Road. And people who use the Lapwing Road, sometimes I will get like KFC and so many different, and then the sad part about it is that when they drop it on the road, it blows into my yard. I remember once, after running, normally after running, I would clean the access gap. I'm not doing it yet. And once I decided to clean the gutter at the side of the road, and I picked up at least 5 bags from people when they go into Lapwing. Now, it has to be people who live in Lapwet and people who visit Lapwet, because Lapwet is a one way in, one way out.
Yep.
You know? And this, I don't know, but we need to have some education. I think we need to go back to when they used to educate us in school, and they had this little song singing about pick up rubbish.
Pick it up, yeah.
Something like that. We
yeah,
need to get back and educate the kids, because we have the mentality that because there are people paid to pick up the garbage, we could just simply drop it. And they will say, oh, see my professor, mun behind to have I.
I think that's a dangerous, dangerous way to think.
Yeah.
And it also speaks to how you see the persons who are actually picking up the rubbish.
Exactly.
And if COVID did one thing, it was actually highlighting those jobs that we see as menial, how
the most
important
they
actually
are. They are very important, honestly.
So that is for sure.
Because,
Go ahead.
Now, I was saying if garbage collectors don't pass in 2 days, we're blaming them already.
Oh yeah, everything stinks.
Exactly.
Everything stinks. Especially if you have Pampers, and because there are some things that just stink more.
Oh yeah.
I just realizing we went into a conversation about the level of stink. Anyway, but you currently hold several records nationally. Tell me about that.
Wow. I think if it's a record above 1,000 meters in St. Lucia, I think
it's
I own
yours,
it.
Yeah,
I think I own it, as long as I've taken part in it.
Yes. Wikipedia actually said you own all outdoor records above.
For the 1,500 meters and up. So 1,500 meters, 5,000, 5,000 meters, 10,000 meters, 1,500, 15K, half marathon, 3,000 meters indoors, which I'm not too proud of because I never like indoors, and that race is pretty slow. I just did that, and it's a national record. So I need to tell Terry Phillips, the one who updates this Wikipedia page, to get that out, because that makes me. Yeah, but any race from 1,500 meters up, and I've taken part in it, I'm the national record holder. Impressive,
I like that. Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, tip your hat at this point.
Yeah,
this is epic.
Yeah.
But with now, what is the next step for you personally? What is, even before I ask about your advice, what is next for OLY? Because that is now your nickname.
Yeah, those are my friends at traffic call me Oli. Yeah, so, yeah.
But what's next for you?
Actually, I see myself as a police/farmer. I'm trying to get into the farming business. I've always loved bananas, but it's not too how do I say it now?
Profitable?
Yeah, profitable right now.
So you're the grounded policeman?
I'm very, yeah. So I'm looking to get back into the farming business. My grandfather left us with at least 11 acres of land, and it's pretty much abandoned now. And it pains my heart that my grandfather worked so hard to have a farm on that same area, and it's nothing now. So I'm trying to do something. I have a few plantain trees there. I did some yam, and it felt so satisfying last year when I dug my yam, and to see that you're actually bringing food
that you
well, not to my home, to my mother's home, because I don't cook at my home. My mother, Martha Joseph, is the one. Anything she cooks, I eat. Yeah, so I want to get into the farming. That's what I'm working on right now. So I cannot say I do coaching. I do not like coaching. I do actually have a level 1 in coaching. I find that for me, right now, the kids of today, you have to actually be kissing their behind. Even no matter how talented they are, you actually have to be at them. Now, for me, I got into that running business. Nobody pushed me, but I got into it. So I have the mentality that I'm not supposed to be at you. Yes, you're talented, and if you're willing to work, I could work with you. But I don't want to be at your home 24/7. Yeah, if you don't want it, if you bring a horse to the water, you can't bring it to drink,
And so in cases like, I know you have Winsbert Sylvester, Jason Sayers, and the guy with the therapy, JT.
That's Julian.
Right, and you have a
Michael
beautiful group
yes,
of persons who you train with. So I'm pretty sure you're going to keep training, because that's pretty much
with me. I'm at the point where even if I recover from my calf injury, which bothers me off and on, I'm not going to be as competitive as I was before. But I still want to be an athlete that's involved in the sport, still enjoying it. And I say I'm a member of Golden Stand. I still go up there and race for them. But like you said, we have a good group with Michael Booth, who is the #1 long distance runner now. Winsbert, Neville, Jason Sayers, who's my buddy and is also a member of Golden Star. Wayne St. Ange. We normally meet off and on. Julian, we meet off and on and we train because we don't have that many long distance runners. There's a young guy in Choiseul, Mabek, but he lives in Choiseul, so that's miles away. But we do meet off and on and do our thing. You know, we do meet off and on.
So now, considering where the hurdles that you had, the obstacles, the successes, if you were to give persons, whether they, and I mean, athletics, any sport is about discipline. So not even specifically. So it's not surprising you went into the police force because discipline is discipline, period.
Period.
But if you're going to speak with someone with regards to the best course of action, something that allows, because one of the advantages for you is that sports gave you school.
Yes, it did. I don't think I would not have been able to afford going to university if it wasn't for those.
So sports gave you the background of school. It gave you the option of having the best of both worlds, so to speak. You got to do what you loved, and you got to be qualified while doing it. So if you're now, from the standpoint of OLY, having the scholarships, and still the various hurdles that you went through with your own local organization vis-a-vis the international, what would you say to young persons, and not just from the standpoint of, work hard, but from an authentic standpoint, what kind of mindset would you advise them to have if they want to succeed? Taking into consideration love of country, but everything else, what kind of mindset would you need in order to succeed in any sporting area?
Especially, I feel, the difficulty you have with sports in St. Lucia, sometimes it's the way certain parents look at it. The first thing they'll tell you, whatever. But then, if you look at it at the point where, if my son is good in cricket, take cricket for example now, people are making money like crazy in cricket. I mean, we have Darren Sammy, who's a multi-millionaire because of cricket.
Yes.
So it's a parent. I think it's something where we have to educate the parents, let them know that there is something that could be gained from sports. There is something that could be gained from sports because we have at least 20 or so athletes studying in the States, and because of sports. But the mentality that the kids at the same time is something that you have to be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you will never survive as an athlete. Because even if you have the talent and you're not training, you will not make it. You understand? And most of the times, the people you surround yourself with, some people may be happy for you or they don't want to see you go forward, and they will do their best to keep you at the same level with them. So those are things you need to be mindful of. And you have to know, well, okay, I've decided I want to be a volleyballer. What can I do to improve as a volleyballer? You need to be a student of the sports. Because as a volleyballer, if you are a volleyballer, and I come and ask you, okay, who's the best volleyballer in St. Lucia? You should know. You should know. You should know certain things about the sports. You should be able to talk comfortably with anybody about the sports that you part of. If you cannot do that, I would say you're in the wrong sport. Because you cannot be telling me that you're a cricketer, and you cannot tell me what's an off break or a leg break, which I don't know because I'm not a cricketer.
You can't battle ball.
Yeah, I can't battle ball. You cannot tell me, okay, somebody's feeling that long on or mid on. I mean, I know the position, I know what they are, but you need to know. So it is something that I said you need to be a student of the sports for you to flourish or for you to get to the level that you need to be. And discipline is just a given.
Yeah, I think there's and I mean I really appreciate the point. I think there's a misconception about discipline too. I think persons look at it as something that is negative.
No.
I think there's a sense of I think with our young people, to some extent, there's a certain sense of entitlement. And what I mean is, sometimes you see the young persons, whether it be football, and in that particular club, they've gotten some hype that they're good and they're that.
Yes.
And then they stop coming to training and they stop. So there's a certain sense of entitlement that comes really, really quickly. So it's what is interesting for me is you, who have every reason to feel entitled, move like the guy who's just in his slippers casually chilling under the bus shelter saying, hey, straws to everybody, you know. So.
And that is the thing, Kishma, is that, like you mentioned, that the moment we have an athlete who is doing well in a sport, it automatically becomes a star, and he does not do the work that he used to do before because he's a star. And we've had that problem, serious problem in Monipo. We have in football, like so many stars.
And the sky is still dark, right?
Stars in football, stars in cricket. But I remember once I was listening to, I think, a young kid, a young footballer, dissing an older gentleman about it. He never played for Monipo. And I'm sitting there and I'm wondering, okay. Then I'm like, that's what you did, man. He's never played for Monipo. You never did this, and you have, like, but what? Yes, you played for Monipo. But what have you done beyond the district level? And we make that's the thing. We're not supposed to be them. Yes, we encourage you, but because you're the star, like you mentioned, they don't come to training. They don't do anything. But on the day you that have been training, every day you are training, they drop you for those same individuals.
For the stars,
and those individuals will never learn because you doing them favors. And I also have the opinion that in St. Lucia you old. The moment you turn 40, you're old. So you bisection Munashas. But I am happy that my sport is an individual sport. If we're selecting a team, we're on the line, we're going to Miku, the person first to Miku makes the team. Nobody has to sit down and decide, okay, that man is a better striker, that man has more goals. It's not like that. It could be like that, but at the same time, everybody will see it because you had a trial and I had a team. So there's no way you can tell me I'm not better than him. It's not my problem he had an injury on that day, but I beat him on that day. So it is something that we need to let our kids know. Yes, you could hype yourself at certain instances. Families are supposed to be proud of their kids doing good things, but don't let it get to the point that everybody just get swell-headed. And that's the problem. They get swell-headed that people cannot talk to them.
Very fast.
And yeah, they get too swell-headed. They get swell-headed too fast.
Because I'm not an athlete, but I have served on various sporting organizations, whether as vice president. And one of the things that I've found is that sometimes we let criticism get to our heart, and we let praise get to our head. So somebody says something negative, and it automatically you feel down, you don't want to do it anymore, you want to give up. And in the same breath, somebody says to you, hey, you're doing a good job, and you automatically believe that there's no room for improvement. And go ahead.
Like, I don't want to I was saying the same way you said. I remember clearly when I was running, going to Castries. I don't even know Castries. Going to Castries and coming back with a trophy. And the way people are up here, my family used to react to my trophy, I also felt proud that I could have gone to the city and beat the city boys and come back into my legal community.
As the country bookie.
Yeah, as the country bookie. And I still try to play football. Football has been the first love. I always wanted to be a footballer. I always wanted to be a footballer. So the running, fortunately for me, I was smart enough. I decided, I realized that I had a better future as a runner than a footballer. And it was something that even when I was on scholarship in the States, I would come on vacation and end up playing football, injuring myself. When I go back to the States, I have to spend 2 weeks down because I'm injured. I still wanted to play as a footballer, but like I said, it's something where you, even if you're 15 or 16, you should have the mentality, okay, that is what I need to do. And track, long distance running is a lonely sport. So you'll find people, if you're a long distance runner, they will navigate towards the team sports, cricket, football, because you're always training for a group, you're always there for a group, you're always depending on so and so. When something goes wrong, you could blame that man for not bowling good, that man for not keeping good, that man for dropping a catch. But long distance running, you could blame one person.
All you have is you.
You for not showing up on Tuesday, you for not going to sleep, you were Wednesday, and you racing on Thursday.
So, congratulations on your Lepito gold medal.
Oh.
I saw that, and that was epic. I think we had like 4 persons from Monipo.
Well, not for the Lepito, but on that day we had 4 awards from Monipo.
Okay.
4.
Yes, but we will deal with them at another time. This is your moment.
Okay.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
We highlighted all of your stuff prior, so we can definitely see how well deserving that was. And whoever, when we're discussing earlier about nominations, whoever nominated you, we want to say kudos to them.
Oh yeah, I want to definitely thank the person or the group who nominated me, because it actually means a lot to me, being recognized by your community or people of your country for what you've done. And fortunately for me, they didn't recognize me after at Masjid. I'm still alive and well.
Dead Hero Society.
We used to be known as a Dead Hero Society. So for me, I'm still alive and well, so I could wear my Peter medal with pride. So I'm definitely thankful for being awarded such a medal.
Ah, yes, that is phenomenal.
Oh, yes.
But thank you so much for your time. It was very refreshing speaking with you. It was a truly beautiful, beautiful experience.
No, I always thank you guys. Like I said, it's never a problem for me to have a chat with anybody pertaining to my life or running, you know. I mean, you guys actually makes me popular.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, let people know that I'm still around.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So I'm not turned down such an opportunity at all.
Yeah.
You know,
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So again, guys, thank you so much for staying with us with Against All Odds. We spent some time speaking with Zephrinus Joseph, OLY, and it has been a truly phenomenal journey for him. So thank you so much. I am Kishma Serie. This is Against All Odds. Stay safe.
PAX is the agent for Caribbean Line, which offers an effective alternative for global integrative of transport logistics from Sheerness, UK to Vieux-Fort St. Lucia in shipping, documentation, administrative procedure, loading and unloading operations. We also offer courier, small package service, customs brokerage, ship agency, freight forwarder, consolidator, and accounting services. Visit them today on New Dock Road, Vieux-Fort, or call 454-1200 or 7198837. PAX is effective, efficient, and reliable.
Real estate transactions are now made easy. Whether buying, selling, or renting residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, or touristic property, we offer the best deals in real estate transactions with professional support, including valuation, material sourcing, and construction. Contact Ed Harris and Associates, your courteous and efficient real estate agents. Call 485-1456 or email caribbiz@gmail.com.
Do you need to copy or print your document? Are you in need of insurance? Are you looking for office stationery? Stop. Yes, LMP Services on Clark Lane, Vieux-Fort has all the services you need. They open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Or call 454-8757 or 721-8757 for affordable rates, reliable and effective customer service with a difference.
Ernesto's Auto Parts, located on the Labrie-Vieux-Fort Highway, is your place for auto parts. We have suspension parts, mounts, brakes, shocks, and so much more.
We specialize in accessories like mats, batteries, horns, lubricants, and much more.
We're open from Mondays to Saturdays from 8 to 5 and Sundays and most holidays from 8 to 1.
L'opri, Ernesto kay depuis.
What do you need to transport? Call the hauler. At M&E's Trucking, we offer a wide range of services island-wide. From containerized movement, flatbed service, and lowboy transfers. We're located at Beanfield, Vieux-Fort. Our skillful professional drivers are ready to serve you. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or email us at vibration711@gmail.com. Call us at 488-1000. We're ready to serve you. M&D's Trucking Service, a powerhouse ready to haul.